with Jason Wojo here. So you said you spent over $3 million in ads, and I feel like anyone who has that insight, it's you can have that leverage, and you know what things you can do with that leverage or that insight to work in different industries. So
Yeah.
before we can talk about advertisements and entrepreneurship, kind of give us your origin story of how you got into that.
So I used to basically, so we're gonna start from like square one, which is
Yeah.
like back when I was home in New York. In high school, I wasn't like very social. I knew I couldn't really survive in a job environment. I was just like very shy, quiet. I was athletic, but I wasn't like tall. I was very skinny. So my weight didn't like when I was playing high school ball, I was doing really well and then I was getting recruited and then I like didn't wind up playing because I actually didn't weigh enough. So there were like
Mm.
NCAA rules as to why I couldn't play on Division 3. And then after that, wind up going off to culinary school because before I went off to culinary school, I was working at a cafe and like it was a weird situation because I didn't really like have other jobs. I just worked at this cafe, flipped eggs, and played video games all day. I was just like a typical kid, man. I was just like trying to have a little side hustle, play my video
Mhm.
games, and then go to school and then come home. Um, and then once that came to an end, I was in culinary school because I asked my boss, I was like, oh, like, what should I do? Because I didn't really know what to do with my life, bro. I was lost.
Mhm.
I was just some like scrawny ass kid who had no like self awareness. So he was like, oh, like you already know how to cook a little, so you might as well go to culinary school. So I took his advice. I was like, I might as well try it. To this very day, man, I have no idea how to cook at all. I have no freaking clue. Because all I did was like most of the food was like pre-made. So I would
Mhm.
just like put it on this grill, flip it a couple times, and put it on a roll,
Oh.
and that was it. Um, so went to culinary school, wound up not going to class at all. I really didn't like it. I just stayed in my dorm room. And I just like was flipping Pokemon cards and I was playing like the Nintendo Wii. And that's literally all I did all day. I would flip Pokemon cards, go to the post office, go to Dunkin' Donuts, play the Wii, and then party. And that was literally what college was for me. I also did some other side hustles. Like if anybody knows the app Yik Yak, that
Yeah.
shit was a gold mine, man. Because like people would want to go up and down the hill when they were partying, and they didn't want to drive because they were drinking. So I would basically take people up and down this hill for like $5 a head, and I would just hustle, bro. I would make like $200 in a night just taking
Sheesh.
people up and down this hill. Because on Yik Yak, I'd be like, "Hey, Delhi, like text this number if you want to get driven up the hill." And dude, my phone would blow up every single Friday and Saturday night. So it was like it's easy money. And I would take that money, buy Pokemon cards with it, and like do that. And then I would sell them on eBay, and like I was doing pretty well. And then basically, I wasn't going to class though because I was at the post office 7 to 8 times a day, fucking just going back and forth, paying for gas, buying more cards at Walmart. I was just, dude, it was so funny. Like, and since I wasn't going to class, like my grades were not suffering though because of this reason. So while I was in school, I started to learn like shit about Fiverr. Like you probably know what Fiverr is.
Mhm.
So I would basically pay people on Fiverr to do my homework. And that's how I got through college. And like, yeah, if any college found out about what I did, man, like I would lose my diploma for sure. No one found
Yeah.
out yet, but so basically was doing that. I made like $20,000 each semester, just like flipping Pokemon cards. The profit was like 11 grand, I think. I left school with like $11,000. So
Sheesh.
I moved back home. I dropped out of culinary school once it was May. I was like, Mom, like, I fucking hate this. Like, I can't do this. So I wound up moving back home. And I went to business school because I was getting the knack for like flipping shit. And like, I liked money and transacting and like, just like straight up hustling, man. I
Yeah.
just loved it. So I went to business school. While I was in business school, I had 3 jobs. I was flipping shit on the side. I was working at Staples on the weekend. I was an assistant at a life insurance company. And then I was an intern as an analyst at a financial firm. So I was doing these 3 things all at the same time while playing college tennis because in high school, I also played tennis and I was really good at tennis. I was better at tennis than basketball, but I liked basketball a lot more. And that's what like kind of hurt the whole weight thing. Um, so I was doing that, paying people on Fiverr, getting through school. I wound up going through the whole degree. I got my bachelor's, but the crazy part is, man, is like I never really showed up. Like while I was in class, I was learning social media marketing and I was making posts for clients and like doing cold outreach, and like I would skip class a lot because I would go to restaurants and like all these local businesses and like have meetings. And the year, like 2 years before I graduated and got my bachelor's, I met this guy named Greg Berry on Instagram, and he owned a brand called Hustle Island. And at the time, they were running this offer where it was like free hustle t-shirts, free plus shipping offer into a sales funnel with a bunch of upsells, and they were growing like a subscription model.
Mm-hmm.
I was making a lot of Instagram videos and I was doing motivational stuff for kids my age. And like, I had like 40,000 followers at the time, and I was growing. And like, I reached out to them. I was like, hey man, like all of you guys are doing, I want to get into this. And they denied me a bunch of times, man. Like they fucking hated me DMing them. And then all of a sudden, Troy, who I live with now, was working with Greg. And then they let me in. And then I went to Connecticut that very week to meet Greg. And we had lunch and like we were talking. He was like, hey, man, like you want to work with us? Like, I like what you're doing with Facebook ads. And like, I was learning this shit on the side. And he was like, yeah, man, I'll give you a shot. Like, we're going to pay you this amount. And I was like, mind blown. So I was like, dude, that's more than I make at my job. So basically, I wound up taking that gig, learned a shit ton. We took Hustle Island from 0 to 24,000 paying customers in 11 months. It was $1 million company. We had a 7-figure subscription model. Like it was nuts, man. And then eventually we stopped everything. I don't know why. We just kind of parted ways, and like we were trying to run this thing for so long, and the offer just started to get really like unprofitable and dried out. And it wasn't really like, it wasn't very progressive moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
We built an email list of 150,000 people. And like, that's where I was learning Facebook ads at scale, man. Like we were spending $1,000 to $2,000 a day. And I was basically playing with numbers and like seeing creatives and writing copy and doing targeting and making lookalikes and scaling things out and doing CBOs and learning all this new shit. Excuse me. That was happening in the Facebook algorithm. So then, yeah, like while I was doing that, once we stopped, I took all that stuff that I learned, went to local businesses then, barbershops, restaurants. I was working with like real estate agents and doing lead gen for them and Facebook ads and messenger bots and like content, social media management, like all this stuff. And then I built my agency up to about, like $4,000 to $5,000 a month I was making, I think. And that was a lot for a kid my age, $4,000 to $5,000 a month. I was in college. Like I was like, all right, I got to get out of here. So I wind up, finishing my degree, make my parents happy. The week that it was graduation, I said, I'm not going to graduation. Like that's fucking. So I basically canceled graduation, got my diploma, took my parents on a cruise, spent like 7 days with them just to bond. And then the next day, dude, I drove down to Orlando and I started my new life. And like, that's literally what happened. And then as soon as I got to Orlando, man, I just grinded. Like I was just fucking in the trenches.
Wait, but did you just go there? Did you know anyone, or you just went there because?
I didn't know anybody, bro. I got a house, like a lease on a room in a house. It was like $750 a month. I randomly hit this guy up on Facebook Marketplace. I was like, hey man, like send me the lease. Like I need to get the fuck out of New York. Like,
but why isn't there more business? Like, were you in the city? Like, or what?
No, I wasn't in the city.
Okay.
And like my neighborhood is Newburgh, so it was like very like ghetto, man, like gang stuff and like a lot of crime, and it was just like really shit. So I was like, I can't really grow a business here because all the business owners were broke, bro. The business owners were fucking broke.
So in your model, you want to be with people, you want to be near the businesses, right? It's not like you're working with people across the country. You're more face to face, right?
Well, not right now, no.
Yeah, but before.
Dude, before, before I was more face to face with them, and like I would come and take pictures and like do that side of the business. Now I'm working with e-com stores and like $1 million brands that are in Australia, all over the place. So it's like that beginning foundation led me into just learning more, meeting new people, referrals, like connections and all that kind of stuff. But back to like, I had a very big following back then, and like I was on a roll. Christmas of 2018, I log into Instagram and my account's gone. Like my account disappeared. Someone hacked my shit and deleted it. So then I had to start fresh, and that's my profile now. And like
Mm-hmm.
that kind of devastated me because I put so much time, money, and effort into that shit. And like that's how I built like this reputation. And
Oh,
then
for
like
sure.
I had to build it back up. And then I built it back up by just picking that one skill. And that was just Facebook ads and just advertising in general, like strategy and upsells and copy and like all this other stuff that was not really being portrayed in the advertising niche. It was all just Facebook ads only, but I was taking it to the level where it was like strategy, upsells, funnels, and like copy and like ad creatives and all this different shit that most media buyers don't really do because
Mm-hmm.
that's when obviously I was making a decent amount of money. And then like once I got to Orlando, I then, had my first 10K month, and then I had a 20K month and a 30K month. And then like fast forward to 2 months ago, like I made $172,000 in 1 month. And like
Sheesh.
I literally scaled this shit to unbelievable heights, man. Like it was crazy. And like now I know everything that I need to know to scale brands and like be massively profitable. And like
Mm-hmm.
that's why people come to me now. But like the biggest cornerstone was definitely networking for sure, and like being open to eating shit to learn more. And then just like practicing what I preach. Like it's to the point now where I don't have to sell people. I don't have to get on the phone and try to like persuade people. Like I'm done on like that shit is over. Like now
Mm-hmm.
it's like, hey, Wojo, like what's your fee? All right, like what are you gonna do? And then they whip out their credit cards because like they know my reputation.
Mm-hmm.
When I first started, man, like local business owners were a pain in the ass, man. They were like, but what if this happens? And what if that happens? And like, should we be spending, can we spend less? And I'm like, bro, these people are penny pinchers. They're broke ass people. Local businesses, man, and this is the one thing that's crazy. People think that local businesses make so much money. And like you have that one kid in high school who's got that friend who owns like a local carpentry business, and you think this family's rich. Like, no, it's not the case, man. Like, I make more money than local businesses do, and they have 5 employees and they have all this traffic coming through daily. And it's like, bro, I sit in my bed like half naked and make more money than a local business. And it's like that was a whole new perspective for me. And it's because they have no scalability. It's because they only have that certain mile radius. Like me, man, I'm on Instagram, I'm posting 3 times a day. I'm running ads. I have a real pipeline of like lead gen, and like I have
Mm-hmm.
a sales team, and like I have all these things. And it's like local businesses, they can only make so much money every single day.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wait, so
it's
what niche are you in right now? Do you work with just e-commerce restaurants? Like, do you narrow down to one thing?
anything that's scaled with paid ads. Anything.
Okay.
So mostly like if someone comes to me and they're like, hey, I'm a real estate agent, I need more leads. You're my client.
Mm-hmm.
If you are a personal brand looking to grow and get more followers, I can work with you. If you're an e-com store looking to scale, I can work with you. Like I have clients all over, man. Like I have
Okay.
clients who are basketball trainers, assistant coaches at D1 schools. I have clients that are like professional basketball players overseas, e-com stores, bakeries in foreign countries, and like anything like that is scaled through lead gen, traffic, SEO as well is a big part of my agency. So like having people rank higher on Google as well. I have that completely systemized and automated, and that does about 20K a month. So my SEO agency is like basically just growing people's like Google
Mm-hmm.
ranking, and they're my
So,
business ranking. And then I also do YouTube as well. So I work with the biggest copywriter in the world right now, and I manage his YouTube channel and I do all his SEO. I also work with one of the top mortgage lenders in the country, and I manage their YouTube channel. So like I'm really spanning off into like just very high net worth clients instead of like these local businesses that are just like honestly, man, just like a really big waste of time. But like,
mm-hmm.
yeah, it helps on my bottom line because the profitability and how little work I have to do. But yeah.
Can you kind of give us the breakdown? Of course, you can't reveal your secrets, but kind of give us a breakdown of how you strategize and implement these models. If you work with different industries, you can't do
Yeah.
a cookie
So
cutter
it's all
solution.
about
Everything's different.
so it's all about KPIs, man. It's like, okay, if it's lead gen, what are you doing wrong? Like, why are your leads not qualified? How are you going to get more leads? How do you make your offer or package better? Like, you don't want to make your shit like everybody else. So it's like, for example, man, I work with a couple credit repair people, and it's like it's not about the credit repair. It's about what credit repair does for them. Like, what are you going to call this thing? So like for one of my clients, we call this thing the 3-step credit score reversal. With another one, we call it this, I think it's a rapid credit score blueprint. And it's like, you name it, these weird things that people, it like branches curiosity out of people. It makes people curious. Like, what is that thing? And like, and you kind of just have like good sales copy. We have a good landing page. We qualify them. We ask them questions that are used as ammo on the phone. It's like most people who do lead gen, they run people to a landing page. It's like, you want a free consult, enter your email and name below. Like, dude, that's fucking boring. No one cares. Everybody can do that. Everybody can make a ClickFunnels account and launch that. But no, like, we have real sales copy. Like, it's about 10 pages long and we're going through pain points, showing social proof. And like, that's how you qualify leads. And that's why my clients fucking crush it. They have a sales team now that has leads that are coming through their pipeline. They're qualified. And all the questions that these people answer, man, like, we use it as ammo on the phone. So if you come to me, like my lead gen process, I ask them, like, how many buyers do you have? How much money do you make? How much money do you want to make? When Sally's on the phone and she's like, I got to talk to my husband, I'm like, listen, Sally, you told me that you want to make this amount a month and you're only making this. I'm pretty sure your husband's going to be happy if you make a decision today that's going to get you to that point. And also, like, your husband wasn't on the phone with us, like, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, he's not going to be as excited as you are. Like, wow, it's basically it's the blind leading the blind. And like using the answers that they give you as ammo. So, and then on the other side of the coin, if it's e-commerce, okay. So you have a product that has a certain conversion rate. And then you go to that landing page and like, there's not a lot of shit built out on it. There's not like social proof. There's not copy. There's not like the slideshow images are ass. Like, there's not apps that are going to increase the conversion rate. What's your checkout process? Like, you have to evaluate all these different parts of the sales process in order to scale a brand.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I've grown a reputation in these Shopify stores, because I take them from zero to hero, man, because they're literally like, they come to with a concept and it's dog shit. And then I turn it into a brand with a good offer, with social proof and like apps and consistent copy that I use across all stores that just makes the checkout process fun for the buyer. And it makes them incentivized to not just buy one, but buy more. And it's like, that goes into the upsells and the order value and the discounts and the offer and like all these different things. So it's like, as far as putting people into like a certain like strategy, it's more so like, what are you doing that's not working and how can we fix it? And I just know what works. I've been scaling stores for years now, man. It's like, what works and how can we pertain it to this niche? Like, is the price of the product too high? Do we have to decrease it? Do we have to bundle it with something? Do we have to name it something different? Do we have to write copy underneath? Like, why are people disconnecting with this very thing? And you think about all the objections that these buyers and visitors are having, and that's how I basically counteract that.
So of course, these businesses, let's be real here, maybe not all of them are selling a unique product or service, right? But they can position themselves in a certain way. So when you encounter these businesses and these clients, do you kind of help them, either
Package
discover
their
a new,
offer? Yeah.
package you're offering to be into a new category, so that maybe someone is searching for a solution to their problem? There might be 100 solutions, but if you position their package in such a way that's different or better, then
That's the thing too. It's like, it's all about like uniqueness and then curiosity. So like, I'm always trying to package my client's product in uniqueness. Why is this thing unique? Don't just tell me it's a phone case. Don't just tell me that it's a blender. Like, what in the hell does this thing do that's different from something that people can buy at Target right now? And it's like, if you can't tell me that, then it's not a good product. It's not a good offer. Like, there are some things that you can twist and make them unique, but then you're basically like manipulating people. And that's just like a fucked up model. So it's like, it's got to be something that makes people go like, huh. It's like men with women. Like, you make women curious. You don't try to give up too much right off the bat that they want to chase you. And it's like,
yeah.
you want to be the mystery. And most people buy shit because they're curious and they're bored. Like, that's why people focus on politics, man. That's why people are focused on people raiding the Capitol. Like, no one gives a shit.
Wait,
man.
but you
Like,
can't be too mystical. You need to be direct, right? And clear.
Yeah, because people at the end of the day, like they know what they're getting, but they're also curious as to the end benefit and what the results are going to do for them. So you have to tease that.
Okay.
And those are infatuations. Like, what
Yeah.
are the curious pointers that are going to benefit them?
Mm-hmm.
So, like for example, like my new lead gen offer that I have that currently is not doing the greatest, that I got to touch up a little bit, but like I basically talk about these big four mistakes that are preventing your ads from working. And I'm taking this approach, and like right now, it's not really working, and I don't know why. I'm kind of curious as to why it's not working that well. My lead cost is like $40. It should not be $40. It should be like 20. So it's like I don't know if maybe going negative is the wrong idea. Maybe these advertisers just want this done for you solution without all the crap and watching too much and like whatever the case may be. I feel like they're too overwhelmed by this. So maybe I have to condense it down to like, let me just run your ads instead of me trying to uncover it in this curious thing. And it's maybe I'm just not being too direct. So that's the thing too. It's like maybe they think I'm just selling an info product instead of getting them to book a call. And like there's a lot of things that are going through my head where it's like, all right, maybe I just got to be more blunt. Be like, all right, let me and my 8-figure advertising team run your ads and scale your business to new heights. And
Mm-hmm.
maybe just be very blunt and simple with them. So that's
And
the thing that I'm trying to basically perceive right
and when do you know when to do short copy versus long copy?
now. That's a good question. So short copy is more for like I would say low ticket lead gen. So like short copy, I would use that for like Shopify stores. Things that are low ticket. High
Mm-hmm.
ticket is long form for sure. Now, if you want to have a higher AOV, you use long copy. Like my templates, I don't know if you know about my templates offer or knew of it, but like I had 100 social media ad templates that I was selling, and I recently got shut down by Facebook, so I'm trying to get back up right now. But that shit was one of the most highest converting offers like on the planet. Like I literally set records, man. Like no joke. If you go on ClickBank and you find all these affiliate offers, they don't come close to my conversion rate or my AOV. I had one of the highest converting funnels like on the planet. And that's how I really got like, a lot of clients and grew my agency to 6 figures a month and like all this stuff, man. It's like I had an offer that was really appealing. It was a $17 front end, and I wrote long form for it. Now you're probably thinking like, why $17 and you're writing long form? It was 30 pages of copy, man. 30 pages I wrote. And the reason why I had I think it was like 9.8% conversion rate is because you're going into the pain points. I had so much social proof with these things, man. Like the more social proof, the better. So
That
it's
was a
like
high ticket item, right?
$17. No, it's low ticket.
So you said you had a long copy in a $17
Yeah,
product?
because I have upsells.
Oh, okay, okay, I see.
So that's the thing. Like I had 4 upsells after that made that $17 a $55 AOV. And
Mm-hmm.
then my 30-day LTV was $73. And I was paying $33 for a customer. Dude, it was profitable as hell. Like I literally was spending like 60 grand a month and making 170 grand a month on a funnel. And that's all profit, bro. It's a digital product.
And how did you learn all this? Did you have to do a lot of testing? Did you invest in yourself in
Yeah,
courses?
it wasn't going well for about a month and a half, and then I changed the headline, and then I basically had my roommate Troy, who's a copywriter, he changed the lead in, and then bro, went through the fucking roof. I had a long headline, and then I condensed it down to like 8-figure advertiser reveals 100 ad templates that entrepreneurs are copying to run profitable ads in 15 minutes or less, and that shit slaps. And then like the lead in at first we made it talk about the struggles of advertisers, but then we changed the lead into, hey, I know you know that one company that's crushing it on social media, and you're probably wondering how they're making millions of dollars on social media by running just simple advertisements that you scroll past every single day. You know it, I know it, and you're probably wondering how the hell are they doing this. And that lead in did way better.
Mm-hmm.
So like, yeah, man, like that was crazy. And that's how I learned now funnels at scale and like doing stuff like that. And it's like, dude, like the biggest thing for people, if they want to really know how to mass scale an agency and like their client shit, is they need to do it. Like most people are fucking lazy, man. Like most
You can't
people,
just do it. I mean, you can't just read. You got to actually be in the trenches, maybe
yeah,
fail.
yeah. like I learned a lot from pushing my offer, man. I learned that you can take the most simplest of shit and make it $1 million business. Like,
Mm.
dude, 100 ad templates. Like, yeah, it's valuable, man. Like, there's 100 in there. $17. I'm not asking a lot of you. So once I get back up and running, I'm thinking of pivoting to 250 and going to a $27 price point.
Mm-hmm.
Because at that point, man, I can make that a $500,000 a month business for sure. $500,000 a month easily. And it's like, I know I can do it, but then I'm dealing with Facebook compliance and all this other shit going on. So I got to figure that out.
So for me, it doesn't matter what vehicle you're using to do a lead gen or sell a product or service. Sales at the fundamental level, what is it to you? Like, what is that one fundamental thing?
Sales is literally something that is curious, unique, and solves massive problems. So that's why Facebook won't let you run MLM and shit like that, because you're telling people that they can make tons of money. Those offers do the best on YouTube and like dynamic ads and like Genesis and all that shit. Like those ads for MLM programs, like you want to build your own social media marketing agency, you want to do Amazon automation, like those on YouTube slap. Stock trading on YouTube slaps because it's easy. It's going into the two biggest things that people are stupid and lazy. And I hate to say it, but it's the fucking case, man. Like, do you have any idea how many people are so stupid? Like, dude, and this is the real truth. I don't care if anybody gets offended by this, but like, dude, 99% of people are fucking dumb. Like, they're just stupid. They're not smart. They're lazy. They don't know how to put the work in. They want shit done for them. They are literally the stupidest of the stupidest. And it's the reason why these people are talking about this shit on social media. Like, oh my God, Trump got deleted on Twitter. Like, no one fucking cares, man. Like, if you're doing shit and you're running a real business, no one cares. Nobody. I don't even know who won yet. I have no clue who's going into office. I don't even give a shit. Like, dude, I hate politics so much, bro. And it's like the number one core reason why people are more willing to vote for somebody else than themselves. Like, you're trying to tell me right now that you're going to vote for somebody who you've never met, never shook hands with, never had a drink with, never had dinner with, never had a fucking concrete relationship with, but you won't vote on yourself. And it's like, bro, it's astonishing to me. And people get very offended by this. And I'm like, dude, the reason why people make a lot of money is because they offend a lot of people. Like, no joke, man. The reason, like, the biggest cornerstone behind you making a lot of money and you not is you being obnoxious and offending people. When you offend people and get people chatting, you're day trading attention. You're going to make more money. So that's why, man, like my offer, I had a lot of people commenting like, who's this fucking child trying to sell templates? And who is this kid trying to like do this? And okay, but I made more in 2 months than people make their whole lives. And it's like, that's just the way the world is, man. It's very astonishing, man. And that's like the one thing that I preach now is like, dude, I don't care what's going on in the world. I don't even know what's going on. I don't know if there's voter fraud. I don't know if there's this. Like, bro, I have no clue. I think COVID's fake. That's my personal opinion. I've been around, dude, hundreds of thousands of people over the past 8 months. Haven't gotten sick yet. How am I not getting sick when all these people are just randomly dropping off and they're just like randomly making up numbers and like, dude, it's just crazy.
But the point is here, you just got to rely on yourself. No matter who's talking, no matter like, I get your point that like, no matter what's going on in the world, you can't put your blame onto someone else. You still got to run your business
because
no matter what happens.
Oh, I can't get a better job because Trump. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, I've been laying in my bed, half naked half the time, on client calls, closing people, making 6 figures a month, and you're fucking talking about this guy who is controlling your job situation. Like, dude, if you lived with me for a week, you would think I'm off the wall. You'd be like, dude, how are you sitting in your bed not doing shit and making all this money? It's because I'm focusing on shit that matters, things that I can control. You can't control who wins, bro. You can't. You can't control what policies people make. You can't control anything in the world. You just can't, bro. You already voted, so fucking chill out and just deal with the consequences. And dude, I don't vote either. I think that my vote doesn't matter just because like I just don't see how it matters. I just don't. don't believe in it, never did. I never even are registered to vote. I don't want any ties to what's going on in the world right now. And then like we got these people raiding this building, and it's like, okay, did they kill anybody? No. Okay. So there's the first thing. Did they kill? Number two is, what did they do in there? They were fucking around taking selfies. Like, dude, just let the people be. Like, who cares? They didn't hurt anybody. Like, it's funny, dude. I think that shit's hilarious, honestly, bro. I saw the pictures of like people climbing the wall, and I was like, dude, that's fucking hilarious. Like, to me, that's funny. But to other people, they're like, well, that's just messed up. Like, there's other things that I won't say on here because of like, I don't want to get you in trouble. But like, you obviously know what I was thinking of. But I'm not gonna bring any of that stuff up. Just for the safety of your audience. But like, I think all the shit that you think that I'm gonna say, it's all bullshit. It's not the case. It's not true. It's stupid, man. And people just need to stay in their own lane. People need to learn something from this. And it's like, the more that you give attention to politics and policies in the world, the more the government is not going to want to fuck with you. The reason why they're fucking with everybody right now is because they're getting a reaction out of everybody, man. Like, everyone's on social media getting suspended and banned, and it's because you're spending more time on their shit than you're spending on your own. And you're depending on PPP loans and like these stimulus checks. And I'm like, bro, $600 ain't gonna save you. I spent $600 in like 2 hours just by sitting on my ass. Like, it's not gonna save anybody, man. It's not. So it's like, dude, it's astonishing to me, man. It's just so like, oh, bro.
Now, I feel your point that, you can't, even with entertainment, politics, you just have to focus on yourself at the end of the day because, like
Yeah.
you said, you can't control everything. But let's get back to the meat of you going back to ads and spending all this money, generating a lot of revenue for these businesses. Now, you talked about the fundamental elements of sales. You said it's uniqueness, it's solving a problem, and what was the third one?
So
But you said uniqueness and basically solving a problem. That's what you have to
yeah,
do in every single
uniqueness,
sales.
solving a problem, and just branching out curiosity. Like, that's important, man. Like, you need to make people hooked. Like,
Okay.
that's why people are so curious, because they don't know the answer. When people don't know the answer, they go crazy, man. They go freaking crazy.
Now,
If you apply for a credit card and get denied, you're like, why? And that drives you nuts. Like, you're curious. Curiosity drives most relationships and transactions in our world.
but for the curiosity, now how much emphasis do you put on the copy and the actual ad creative? Like, how important is that for the sell?
So the ad creative is very much like short form curiosity, but also builds common sense into why the offer is unique. So it's like, with my ads, I'm more so resonating with the potential buyer. I resonate with them. I tell them, like, have you felt this way? And like, here's what I've done and here's my solution for you. But I don't really tell them the whole thing, and that's teasing it. Then the landing page is even more curiosity. You're just driving them down a story, dude. Storytelling is one of the most important things in any offer. When you can storytell, you can make more money than ever, because ever since we were kids, we always liked stories. We would tell our parents, tell me a story, read me a book. And it's like, dude, those things still apply to old ass men and women like us. Well, we're not old, but like, we're still innate to these surroundings. And it's like, we still like stories, because if I came, like, for example, man, I went out last night. If I went out, I don't really go out much, but if I went out last night and I was like, dude, you're not going to believe what me and this girl did last night. You're hooked, because you're like, yo, what happened? Like, I got you curious. You're going to sit there and listen. And it's like those things. And like, the other thing, dude, was like, dude, you can't believe what the bouncer did to my friend. Like, it was insane. Like, I can't believe this, man. Not in a million years. If I said that to you as well, you'd be curious. Like, dude, like, did the guy fight the bouncer? Did the bouncer wind up dancing with a girl instead of doing his job? Like, did a bouncer punch a bartender? Like, dude, what happened? And like, you got all these thoughts going through your head. And like, those kind of things that you branch off of and curiosity drive people to be so emotionally attached to the answer, because everybody wants a solution. Like, if someone breaks up with you, why? Like, why did they break up with me? What's the real reason why that person broke up? What's the reason why that person denied me? What's the reason why this person, denied me of a job? Like, what is that reason? People just want answers, man. And when people don't get answers, that drives them to bad places, man, where they buy dumb shit, get into drugs, they lash out on things that don't matter. And it's like, dude, curiosity makes a lot of money, a lot.
Is that how you operate, where if you don't know why something's working in your systems, right, in your business, then you try to decipher or reverse engineer whatever you have to reverse engineer and solve that problem so you can go back to business or, start going into the green, generating revenue?
So, I mean, the biggest thing, man, is like,
Because you can't say every one of your plays has been a hit, right? I'm pretty sure some of them
yeah,
are
some of
below
them
par.
flop. Yeah. So it's more like when things flop, man, I really just, it's got to be the offer. It's either it's too saturated or the offer just really isn't good enough. And I just didn't do a good job, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like some things flop, man. I'm not perfect. So, like, some offers with clients don't go well. And I'm like, ah, shit, like, that's unfortunate because, like, I really thought that I could help this person.
Yeah. Wait, do
Like,
you also have to deal with their actual landing page or just the Facebook ad itself?
so a lot of my stuff is strategy, copy, and the ads. So, like, yeah, man, I'm dealing a lot with the landing page because that's the thing that closes the buyer. Your ads don't sell people. Your ads make people curious to then have an actual opportunity to buy. Your landing page is then what closes them.
Okay.
People need to have enough buyer intent to make a decision on the landing page. And the biggest things is like, is the price good? Why is that, justified? Is this an easy checkout process? And is this a no-brainer? And have people used it before and what were their experiences? And those are the biggest things on a landing page. Like, why does this thing make sense? Is the price good? Is there urgency? And what have people experienced using this thing before?
Mm-hmm. So say you see like your ads are generating traffic to the e-commerce shop or the website, right? But you see that at the landing page, there's no conversion at all.
It's either
At
the
that
landing,
point,
at that point, it's the landing page and the offer. They're not congruent and they're not exciting enough for someone to make a buy.
okay. So it's the responsibility of your client to change that up, right? Even that's the
I
e-commerce
mean,
shop,
yeah,
something.
we can give them advice and be like, all right, like, this is not working. It's probably because of this, this, and this. And we can see if we flip this, maybe they'll do better. And that's it, man. That's the best thing you can do. Some products just sell without copy, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I have clients who sell stuff and we don't have to write shit and they're just selling out the ass. And I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
that's nuts. Some things just are so good and really just unique that they just sell without any objection from the buyer.
And so when you target people, a lot of people that I've been speaking to, they just rely on the Facebook algorithm because it's so powerful that they do a generic, ad, and then they let Facebook do its thing. But some people say, you know what, you need to actually know your avatar and run
Yeah.
an ad
So
to
at
your target
scale,
audience.
man, like, low ticket stuff is mostly impulse buys. So most of that is just like uniqueness, benefit. Why is it a no-brainer? Is the offer good? Is the price, resonate with them? High ticket is all about the avatar. High ticket, you need a lot of copy, you need a lot of persuasion, you need a lot of social proof, you need a lot of, like, you've tried this before and this is why this is going to be different. And you need a lot of, like, here's my story and here's how I came from nothing to something using this exact method. Like, high ticket and courses is all about copy, long form storytelling, and why this thing is like, it basically resonates with that buyer.
Okay. And when you do, like, a lot of businesses, they don't want to have that impulse buy. They want to have like a high, what is it, AOV, LTV. And how do you kind of generate that play where you want your business to go to the same customer and have them buy more products every three,
So
four,
that's
five
about
months?
upsells. So that's all about upsells. So they buy one thing. The next biggest upsell is the same shit. If they buy one of something, they're going to buy more than one. So if you, like, for example, man, if you, let's say you buy a car for yourself, you're probably going to wind up buying one for your wife. It's more of the same. If someone buys toilet paper, they're not going to go buy baby wipes. They're going to buy more of the same. They're going to buy more toilet paper. Like, you got to think about what is more congruent to this thing. And it's like, when you buy one thing, the next thing is more of the same. Like, if people buy one bottle of wine, what do you think they want to buy next? Maybe another bottle at a discounted price.
Mm-hmm.
People get one beer at the bar. What do they probably want? If they start off with a beer, they want another one. It's like, and then the other thing, so there's two factors of upsells. Number one is more of the same. Number two is or expansion or faster or better results. So you buy a board game. What do you think they're going to buy next? An expansion pack, because they're like, fuck, this game's fun. I want to get more. So, oh shit, there's an expansion pack. That's why Call of Duty, man, you buy Call of Duty, they got 4 expansion packs waiting for your ass. They got skins, they got power-ups, that's why those things sell so well. Because if it's an expansion pack, everyone else has it. Johnny got it, mom. I want it too. I want to play with him on the new maps. Dude, the fucking the conversion rates of those must be at least 80%. I mean, dude. And then faster or better results. So if you sell, for example, you sell a real estate course where you teach real estate agents how to get more leads. What do you think the best upsell would be? It would be a template of the landing page that gets them more leads. A copy of the ad and the actual landing page template that gets the leads at the end of the day. And that upsell take rate would be probably over 50%. Like, what do people need from the next thing? So people get filet mignon. What the fuck do you think they want next? Well, they need a pan to cook it in, or they need sauce. Maybe they want barbecue sauce. Maybe they want this, or like, maybe they need butter to spread on the steak. Like, dude, like those are good upsells because they make sense. They're congruent.
So is that one thing that you tell everyone in your sorry, excuse me.
Yeah. So for example, man, I'm working with this company that I'm onboarding Monday and they're doing hair growth. So if they're doing hair growth, what do they probably want next? Okay. So if their hair is growing, they want to sustain healthy and soft hair. Okay. So here's our cream. Here's our conditioner. Here's our, like, those 3 things is what's compatible with the hair growth serum. Maybe they want another flavor. Maybe they don't want, like, they get the lavender. Maybe they want the fucking fruit one. Maybe they want this, like more of the same. Or if they get a 30-day supply, maybe they want to get another 30-day supply. More of the same. Okay, now you get your 30-day supply. Let's give you another 30-day supply for less price. Take this, increase your order value, and now you have 60 days for the price of freaking 90. Well, no, you have 60 days for the price of 30 originally. So you're getting twice the amount of time for a better price.
So is that kind of like the rule of thumb for any e-commerce shop or any business?
For any e-com store, it's either more of the same. If they don't only need one, it's more of the same or something that is congruent to that.
And so when you have these ads online, do you kind of have a direct call to action to buy now, or do you kind of give them more information? I mean, you did mention impulse buys, right?
Yeah, impulse buys are all about just testimonial and a link to buy. That's literally it, man. I do a testimonial. What's the offer? Is it 30% off plus free shipping? And then a shop now with the link. That's it.
Okay.
With a video that excites the buyer, like shows like testimonials and like shows how to use it and all that shit.
So at that point, you don't really have to rely too much on retargeting. It's really about getting that impulse buy.
Well, wait. I mean, dude, retargeting makes a lot more money than you think. So impulse buys are impulse, but also they're going to be more of an impulse if you retarget them. So first off, if people are on the edge about an impulse buy, if you retarget them, their intent's going to be way higher. I make way more money on retargeting than the front end. Like there's way more money to be made on retargeting. That's why sending out emails does well. That's why SMS does well, because they're retargeting your already current buyers. They're already higher intent people. So you're making more money casually off the people who are already buyers or higher intent. And your cost per click is cheaper on retargeting too, because they've already seen it. They're already aware. They're an aware buyer with an intent.
And how important is it for an actual brand to have those assets, like an email list, for example?
That's very important. Like email lists, my roommate Troy, who manages email lists and does copy, he has email lists that make $200,000 a month. Like they're huge brands who send out daily emails. Like when you get, like I'm subscribed to a lot of companies like Coach because I bought a backpack for them. Dude, I get 4 fucking emails a day. You know how much money they make? Dude, they make tons of money. Dude, Coach makes a shit ton of money. So it's like, dude, the more emails you send, the more money you make. It's not about bothering people because here's the thing, man, is like people think that you sending out a bunch of emails and giving people a bunch of upsells is going to aggravate the buyer. At the end of the day, if they're not your right buyer, then they're going to be annoyed by upsells. They're not going to have an AOV. I have people who come through my funnel. They're like, bro, that shit was so valuable. Like, dude, I bought everything. And like, because they're my buyer, man. Sally, who's mad about all the upsells, she's not my fucking buyer. She's a lazy ass bum who doesn't want to do anything. So she's not my buyer.
Yeah.
She's not going to build a real business because she's not willing to invest in herself anyway. So she's already lackadaisical in her mindset in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
But John, who goes through my funnel and spends $303, which is my highest available buyer, John is my fucking client. John is the person who I'm going to email. He's going to book a call and I'm going to get him reoccurring. John's the person who understands the value and shit.
For sure. And so if you're a solopreneur, I feel there's a lot of elements in running, not just the ads, but the whole system in play, copy, creative, landing page, etc. If you're a solopreneur trying to get started and you don't have a massive budget, what are some key things that you should start doing? Maybe you have a couple hundred or a couple thousand to spend on ads.
Honestly, if you have a couple thousand to spend, I would honestly pay other people to do it for you. I'm a big believer in like delegation. I really believe in that. And it's like, you got to give yourself up to people who know more than you. Like, dude, man, like last week I spent $12,000 on a phone call. A fucking 45-minute consult cost me $12,000 because I needed it. I needed that 45 minutes with that person. Like, I need that shit. It was worth $12,000 to me. So it's like, you need to give yourself up to people who are smarter than you. And it's like, if you try to figure out the shit on your own, you're going to take 12 times longer. Like, it's
so you got to take the ego aside. Of course you can be making money, but for a fact that if you learn a lot.
No, because people are just broke, dude. People are just broke in their mindset, and people just spend money on dumb shit and can't justify investing money in their business because they're broke in the first place. Like, where they come from and where they end is a big indicator on how much money they make. Like, dude, I have people who are scared to pay a $1,500 invoice. And I'm like, dude, you're posting pictures of you wearing Gucci shit on Instagram. The fuck are you worried about $1,500? Like, why? Because you're a poser. You're not really making money. You need people to feel good about you so that you can actually feel good about yourself and sleep at night. Like, dude, there's people that I know that have hundreds of thousands of followers that are broke as fuck. Like, I could name people right now who have 4 or 5 million followers who only make $10,000 a month. They are broke as fuck. Broke. They have no business. They're just running some Instagram and they think they're cool and they need an ego boost. But they're, at the end of the day, man, they don't have shit. They don't have any money. They're renting cars. They're taking Instagram pics and they're just bullshitters. Like, I'm actually doing it. Like, I have bills. I have obligations. I live in a freaking mansion. Like, I have a car. It's a Maserati. Like, I have real life obligations. Like, I actually run a business. I don't need to go on Instagram and post pictures of that. I need to put out videos because that gets people in my pipeline. But I don't need people to think that I'm wearing Gucci and all this shit. Like, I don't even have much Gucci. I wear Nike fucking hoodies and that's just it, man. Like, I live in a dope ass house. I'm able to support my parents financially. I have a nice car. That's all I need, man. Like, I need a nice master bedroom with a bathroom. Like, I like to sit in the shower. Like, I like that shit because it soothes me at the end of the day. I'm busy all day. I need something to relax to. I can't be living in some one bedroom apartment where I feel fucking like I'm behind. Like, that shit too motivates you, man. Like, as soon as you put that money up to buy something, it makes you go even harder. Like, when I bought my car, I was like, fuck, man, like, I got to go hard. Like, I got to pay for this shit. Like, I got to go harder. Then I got the house. I got to go now even harder. So now I'm getting more clients. I'm trying to get my offers back up. I'm trying to do all these things because the urgency, man. You put yourself around the right people, you're going to get to the next level. You saving your money as an 18 to 24-year-old ain't going to do you shit. You need to spend money to make money. Like, I hate when people are like, just save your money. No, because it's not doing shit. It's sitting there in the bank. The banks are using it right now. They're putting it into people's loans and the mortgages. Like, you need to spend your money. You have $8,000 in the bank, $10,000 in the bank, $20,000 in the bank. Who gives a shit what you got? Who cares? You got $20,000? Dude, If you stole $20,000 from me right now, I wouldn't even fucking know what happened. Wouldn't even know. Steal it from me. I wouldn't even know where it went. Wouldn't even be able to tell. Because I run a real business, man. I'm too busy putting money into shit that's getting me to the next level. I don't care about $20,000. I don't care. People are over here stressing. Oh, I gotta pay this person $1,000 to do this. Like, you never would have done it on your own. You don't know how to do it anyway. So why not delegate and grow your business and have a real business? Like, you need these things in place. People are like, oh, I'm running my own ads right now. I'm like, okay, what are your CPAs? Like, oh, they're really high. I'm not profit. I'm like, because you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You're running people to a landing page. Look at that thing. It's a piece of garbage. Like,
No, but to be fair, in the beginning, you do need to. I do think that if you're a solopreneur, to some degree, you need to learn how these things work, so you don't get, you know, ripped off by someone else,
yeah.
or you know
So
what I mean.
that's the
To
other
some degree,
equation. It's like, okay, so I get that. And it's like there's a lot of people selling shit out there and like you don't really know who to trust. But it's like here's the thing. I made a video about this, man. It's like 70% of people just lack common sense, man. Like people are fucking dumb. Like you literally go to somebody, they're like, oh, like you're doing this amount of money. Oh, we're gonna charge you $5,000 a month to run your ads. Like, don't be a dumbass. Like, look for other options. Like, there's gonna be people who can do the same amount of work for less. Like, don't just be sucked into that stuff. Like, don't be sucked into bigger pricing because people have a bigger following. Like, dude, I charge the same amount across all clients. But then I make a deal with them like, hey, if I take you to 6 figures a month, the retainer triples. And that's my deal with my clients. I'll start you here, but if I take you to $100,000 a month, you have to pay me this. That's how it is. And that's always been my thing. Because if I'm making 6 figures a month, I should be able to get at least 5% of that.
now, is it through your personal brand? Of course, yeah, you already have your your reputation, but is it through your personal brand that you get a lot of these leads? And if so, that means that your personal brand is very, very important as an agency owner or a business
Yeah.
owner.
So the reason why most people come to me is because of the personal brand, because the
Okay.
content I put out, TikTok, all these videos, man, I'm putting a lot of money into a video editing team. I have someone literally, Dave, who takes the
Dope.
pictures of me. He posts for me on Instagram. I get all this shit done for me. I'm not touching. I feel like Gary Vee, man. I don't touch a thing.
So you
Like,
think that's important though? You know, once you start making money, you can invest in yourself and your personal brand
yeah,
because
like
that's the
if
way to
you're,
generate
yeah.
leads.
So if
Okay.
you're making at least $7,500 a month, you can afford to have a video editing team, and you can afford to have a graphic designer. You can afford to live with a videographer or photographer. You can afford it. But people don't want to take that loss. They don't want to take it. Like across video editing, photos, having somebody help me with clients, like my overhead's not much, man. It's maybe like $6,000 a month. Maybe
Okay.
about $6,000 to $8,000 a month. So
Okay.
it's like my house, that's, I don't even want to talk about that, but like there's other overhead. Like my expenses are probably around like 15 to 20 grand right now. Probably
Okay.
about 15 to 20 grand. So it's like I have to make up for that with building like clients and like putting my time into them and also building on my own offers, delegating. Like when I'm not busy, I'm working on other high ticket shit, like high ticket stuff, like trying to build funnels for people, trying to get big clients, trying to get in people's circles, trying to sell consults for $5,000, trying to do shit like that that's going to make me money.
So out of curiosity, what's your overall ambition? Do you want to grow your company in different
Um,
verticals or?
so at the end of the day, man, it's like I want to get more into speaking. I want to have my assets make me more money. So I want to be able to get paid 10K, 20K for a speech. I want to be able to
Okay.
make money from my YouTube channel. That's like I want to have these different assets running to the point where that takes care of my lifestyle. And then me as a person and growing businesses is my other hobby. So like, even though I just have my agency right now, if I can get my offer back up, I'm going to be dangerous, man. Like I'm not fucking playing, bro. If I can get my offer back up, I will probably have over 1 million followers this year on Instagram. I will hit that mark.
The one that was banned by Facebook, right?
What? Yeah. So
Okay.
if I'm trying to get it back up right now. I'm on the right path. I can get that back up to the same amount that it was doing. I will literally, dude, I'll put all the money into Instagram growth and giveaways and all this stuff, and I'll have 1 million followers by the end of the year. No doubt. Fucking no doubt. But I need to get back up right now. And then I'll like put money in YouTube and I'll delegate here and like I'm launching 2 companies right now that I'm trying to delegate. So I'm launching a second company, which is sneaker reselling. I
Dope.
have a friend back in Orlando that basically knows the game, knows how to sell, buy. Just gonna pay him. I don't have to touch shit. All I gotta do is put the money up. All right, Jason, like let's buy 500 pairs of these Air Maxes. All right, man, put it on the cart. And then he gets them shipped to Orlando, ships them. I get the money. And then I pay him a certain profit margin.
Mm-hmm.
The second business that I'm launching is a planner company. This is something that like I've been thinking about doing for so long. We have the planner like almost done. It is almost done. It's going to be launched by the middle of next month. And that's going to make us a lot more money as well. That's going to make me more money than my agency because
What do you
it's
mean planner? Like actual physical planners, like booklets?
physical planners. Yep. So physical planners for like entrepreneurs,
Okay.
productivity, goal setting, goal tracking, accountability, gratitude, all that shit built
Dope.
into this one planner. And it's going to be a 90-day undated planner. It's going to literally crush. I used to sell planners with a client back in the day, and we were doing like maybe almost 100 grand a month. But then when I asked him to take out a credit line to get a bulk order, he didn't want to do it. He wasn't down for that financial obligation. So we parted ways. Like some clients get afraid of money. Like that's a huge thing, man. Like you'd be surprised. Like you might say to yourself now, like, oh, I want to make $100,000 a month, bro. Do you have any idea how many people make $100,000 a month and wind up quitting because they're scared of all the money that they're making? Like that's a real problem, man. That's like a mental block. Like that is a money block. And I talk about this a lot, but not a lot of entrepreneurs talk about it. And it's like, dude, I have a client right now who we were spending like $1,000 a day in ads. And she's like, well, we were spending about 2,000. She's like, slow down. Like I can't believe that it's making this much money. Like I don't know what to do. Dude, people are actually scared of success.
No, that's true. I mean, you can't really blame them. This goes for athletes as well because they make it to the big leagues and then they question themselves like, do I really deserve this?
Yeah.
And then same
That's
thing
the
for
thing.
entrepreneurs. It's a mental block. I mean, you can't really. I mean, it does suck, but to some degree, it's like a shock to the system because you're not used to it, and then you question yourself, do I really deserve this? But I think if you do see that, you should maybe double down, triple down.
Yeah. So it's like the other big thing, man, is like their parents always used to tell them to get a job and you're only going to make this amount. You're going to retire at 60 and like you're going to have your kids and you're going to make, live paycheck to paycheck. And when you're given that amount of money, you're like, what the hell? Like, am I scamming people? Do I think that this is sketchy? Like, you think that, bro. I had a little bit of a money block when I went from making like 30 grand a month to making over 100K a month. I thought that was fucking nuts, dude. I was like, wow, what am I doing? Like, dude, there were days where I was making like my biggest day ever was like $14,000. I thought that was fucking absurd. I was like, bro, what in the hell am I doing? Like, I literally sat in my bed that night and I was like, dude, I was shaking, like dead ass, bro. Like, you get shaking, like you're shaking, and you get dehydrated, and like, dude, that shit fucks with you, man. Like that's a real thing. Um, because I thought that like I was gonna lose it all. I thought that like I didn't deserve it. Like I thought that that was weird for a kid like me, who's first of all, I'm very transparent in a way that like I'm very immature, man. Like I'm a very immature kid. Like around the house, like I'll run around the house and I'll have a fucking pond on my head, and I'm like just like dancing and shit, listening to Drake and like yelling and screaming. Like I'm a kid, man. Like I like to have fun. I go out to parties. I'm jumping up on the table. I'm dancing with women. I'm being a dumbass. Like I'm a child, bro. But at the end of the day, like I'm very good at what I do, so it
Yeah.
cancels out. Like I like to have fun in life. Like I'm not gonna sit here and be serious all day. I'm not. Like that's not how I roll. Like dude, like I do some pretty dorky shit, man. And it's because I like to be myself. I'm not gonna change up who I am for money. And that's one of my biggest quotes, man, is never be a bitch to the money. There's enough to go around. Like that's my biggest quote. That's on my whiteboard for my 2021 goals. Like never be a bitch to the money. Never let somebody fucking tell you that what you're paid is what you're worth. That is bullshit. Like never let money control your decision making. Money is around for everybody. Like it is around. And obviously, once I make more money, I want to do a challenge where I basically start from zero. I like what Grant Cardone's doing right now, where it's like undercover billionaire. I love that shit. Like, I want to literally do something where like someone follows me for a whole year and I do like from zero to hero, like from zero to millionaire.
Mhm.
I want to do it. I think that'd be really interesting. I think like I would get a lot of attention from that and obviously value. And like, I fuck with that very heavily
Yeah, I mean,
because most people are not willing to do that and they don't have what it takes. They don't have the intellect. They don't understand like what it really takes to be an entrepreneur. And that's why 85% of businesses fail, man. It's like, they just don't understand the systems and the processes and how to scale. And like, they don't get past that money block. So it's like, yeah, man, it's pretty intense. So it's pretty curious too as well. It's interesting, and it's been a big part of like me also having to coach my clients. Like there's a lot of people who go through that money block and don't think that they deserve it. And they're like, what do I do with all this money? And like, is this okay? Is this gonna, I have to pay taxes, and like that shit don't matter when you're making that much money. It's like, dude, it's nuts, man. So it's very interesting that you brought that up. And like that's a real problem, man. Like you got to think about these couple things when you start making real money. I don't know how much money you make right now. That's not none of my business. But like when you start making like crazy money, you're gonna literally sit there one day and be like, dude, I should stop. Like you're gonna actually want to stop because you're gonna be like, I wished for this thing for so long, and now that it's here, like it doesn't fucking feel right. I feel like I'm scamming people. I feel like this is like too much attention for me. I have to deal with payment processors, banks, fucking chargebacks, legal shit. Like more money is more problems, man. It is. Like when I was making more money, man, I had to pay a lawyer, I had to pay a tax strategist, I had to pay all these things, bro. When you make more money, your tax bill is fucking big, bro. It's pretty big. So
so
it's
Biggie Smalls was right. More money, more problems.
that is definitely. But when you have a team and you delegate, it does ease the pain a little bit. It does.
Yeah,
But like,
that's
dude,
right.
you go from becoming a solopreneur to a leader, and that's Jason Capital had me in one of his videos where he talked about that. And I'm actually going to see him again on the 19th in Miami. And like,
Dope.
I was saying to him, I was like, man, like I know I can do 300, 400, 500 a month. I know I can. And he's like, well, right now you're taking the step from being a solopreneur to a leader, and which requires a whole different skill set. And he's right, man, because like right now I'm pretty stable. I haven't jumped to that range yet because I got to get my offer back up. I got to delegate more. I got to get these clients automated that I just onboarded. And it's like, there's a lot of shit, man, that goes into it. And it's like, it's scary to give up tasks to other people that are not as smart as you. But if they can at least do it, and this is something that one of my clients, Stephen Georgi, he is like the best copywriter in the world. And he's actually one of my clients. Like he's sold over $700 million worth of products and services. Like the guy is very low key guy, like very low key. He's got a beautiful family. He's a mentor to thousands of people. And like, I met him through Troy, and Troy's in his Facebook group, and it's part of like this copy accelerator group. And it's like, dude, it's those people are high net worth ass people, like people who are making millions of dollars a month, millions. And it's like, being in that web and like being able to get him as a client, like you learn a lot from a guy like that. And he basically said to me, he's like, and he put this on Instagram too. He was like, even if you give a task to somebody and they do it 80% of what you would usually do it at, it's still worth your time more. Even if they don't do it to the par that you did it at, and it's at 80% instead of 110, you're still going to get further because you're allocating towards more shit. And that was a big thing that I realized. Like, if this man did it, dude, the fact that, and he's actually almost, I think he did like $1 billion in product and services total from all his sales letters and clients that he's helped write sales letters for. I think he made the billion mark, I think last week or something like that. I think he's at it. But like, dude, the guy is, if you want to follow somebody, like you should definitely follow him. Like he never really focused on personal branding because he made so much money in direct response that he never really focused on it. But now he's focusing on it. I'm helping him build that out. And like, it's really fun, man. It's like being a part of someone's circle like that opens your eyes up. Like, it's really cool, man. Cause he doesn't just have money, man. Like he doesn't. He has a beautiful wife, Laura, who I know as well. And like, he's got a beautiful daughter. And it's like, dude, it's really dope, man. It's like, it's not just about the money at that point. It's like, you're trying to like look down at your family and show them what's possible. And it's like, dude, you're being an inspiration to so many people, and like, you're having a bigger impact than just your wallet. Like, money can only get you so far, man. It's like, yes, you can help your family, and yes, you can buy cool shit, but like, you really can't serve your community with money in a personal sense. Like, yeah, you can go around and donate and like help people with their bills, but like, what is it going to do for you? Like, how are you going to make yourself happy? Like, if you're lonely, like, bro, right now, transparency at all time high, I'm not truly happy, bro. I'm not. And it's like, why not? Well, I live in a fucking house that's too big for one person. I live with a bunch of dudes who do direct response, just like me, who do ads, who do copy, who are my friends, who I dearly love. But it's like, where's the girl? Where is the legacy? Like, who am I trying to inspire? A bunch of fucking Instagram followers? Like, bro,
So you want
I
to settle
can't
down? You want to settle down? You think?
not settle down. I just want somebody to like build an empire with me, man. I want somebody who I could wake up with in the morning and it's like, it's grind time. Like, it's dope shit, bro. Like, if you wake up with somebody and they're like, hey, like, we're going to do this and this and this and this today, that amount of accountability is way more attractive than just like sexual tension and things of that matter.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want a partner just for sexual tension. That's the dumbest shit ever. It's more about like, this person looks up to me and appreciates me and like sees that I'm more than just like this person with money. And like they enjoy being around me, they're inspired by me, they're motivated by me, and it's like everybody grows together. And then like once you get to a certain point, man, like obviously I've never really been in love, but like I feel like it'll come to that point where it's like you see that side, like you understand, like that shit will click where you're like, all right, like I'm really starting to get deep feelings for this person. That's
Mm-hmm.
more than just an empire. Like now I really, really love this person. And like I have never experienced that because it's been me, family, me, this whole time because I've wanted to build an empire and I thought that that would attract people, but it's not, man. It's like there's only to a certain extent of the people that you're going to attract when you just have nice things.
Mm-hmm. So you
Like,
think this is important for any aspiring entrepreneur because they might think, looking at Instagram and whatnot, that money will solve all their problems. But from your perspective, you're saying that it won't to some degree because you want to build an empire with someone, have a family, kind of like that example you
I'm
told me with
like,
that billionaire.
man, this is not like anything to hate on people or like my generation, but I've been on a lot of dates, man. And I can barely connect with the women my age. And it's the truth, man. When I'm sitting across from a dinner table or something and I'm talking to somebody, when they start talking about school and getting a job and like how their parents want them to move out, I'm like, dude, I can't fucking relate. I can't because I'm already past the phase. I'm already at that next level. I'm already like, I have this ego, bro. And like, that's something that brings me down in society is like, I can't sit there and talk about college with a girl, man. I can't. I get bored as fuck. And like,
Is that why you do think celebrities only date celebrities because they're both at that high level that they can maybe only
I
interact with that
honestly,
person?
man, I really think that that is the case, man. I think that you're right about that. I think that it's because they can't have conversations with small-minded people. And I'm not honestly, man, I don't care if anybody gets offended, but that's the case. Like if you're talking about shit like that, you're too small-minded for me. I can't do it, man. And like there's times where I've been on dates and I went to the bathroom and never came back because I can't I just can't sit there, man. I can't do it. My body, my leg is shaking. I get bored. I have to leave. I can't do it. It irks me dearly. And then there's the women who will come out with me because like they know what I'm about or they know that I have money and like they're just gold diggers, man. They're just gold diggers looking to get free food, looking to get some attention, and they just go home and never text me back. And it's like I'm trying to get away from those
Mm-hmm.
like very toxic things, man. It's like oh, shit, man. It's just
I don't know, man. I'm no relationship expert here, but I I don't know. Let me know if I'm wrong here, but I do think that if you're too picky to find that one girl who has that same net worth, if not higher than yours, who is extremely ambitious,
yeah.
that could be hard to find. I'm not gonna say impossible, but I do think with
It's
time,
definitely more difficult because like I do have higher standards in the way that I want to spend the rest of my life with somebody and
yeah,
like
that makes sense.
allocate that time. Because dude, I'm trying to build like businesses here. If I'm
Hmm.
going to be allocating my time towards somebody, they better be worth it. And I
Yeah.
don't say that as a douchey thing, but like, dude, it's really the case. Like, I don't have 4 hours a day to fuck around with somebody and just like have fun.
Hmm.
It's more like, are you serious? Are you someone who I vibe with? Are you somebody who has the same values and morals as me? And like, do you want to build an empire? Or are you scared of growing? Or are you
Hmm.
ready to put the work in? Like, I need somebody who's going to wake up with me and hold me accountable. Like, all right, we're going to the gym at 7:30. Get ready. Like, we're doing this. We're doing that. We're going to play basketball at 8 to get some exercise. We're going to eat this. I'm going to cook you this. And like, I need that shit. Because I don't cook. I fucking eat out every day. I don't know how to cook. It's probably really unhealthy, but that's just the way it is, man. It's like that's the sacrifice that I made for working a lot.
Hmm. You know, you might have to make that show with what's that rapper? Those shows where like you're the guy, and then you bring in girls to see which one you want to pick for to be your girlfriend or whatnot. I think
Oh
Flavor
my
Flav
God.
originated or made that idea,
Yeah.
but who knows, man? You might have to do that, and then now increase your personal brand and
Yeah.
become right, right? Make your own TV show.
Yeah,
But
true.
all jokes aside, bro, Jason, I don't want to take too much of your time here. We're past the hour mark, and dude, it was definitely a pleasure. You know, talking trash and learning about Facebook ads, and you know,
I
it was
appreciate
definitely a
it, man.
pleasure.
Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate it.
So yeah, I'll send you. I'm just gonna pause it real quick. So